Hello students, I hope you all are good. So today I am here with one more revision session of chapter 2 linear equation with one variable. We have already done the chapter, we have already done one revision session also, but still if you have any doubt then you can clear your concept with this video. So let's start with this session. Chapter 2 Linear Equation with one variable. Definition of a linear equation. Linear equation in one variable. If there is only one variable in the equation, then it is called a linear equation in one variable. Linear equation is the one where the highest power of the variable is 1, and if there is only one variable in such equation, then it is called linear equation in one variable. The general form is ax plus b is equal to c, where a, b and c are real numbers and a is not equal to 0. Here the condition given is a is not equal to 0 because a is the coefficient of variable x, and if a is 0 then a into x, that is 0 into x, is equal to 0. So there will not be any term which is having variable in it. So here the condition is a is not equal to 0, where a is the coefficient of x. Expression in this figure, you can see that 4x minus 7 on the left hand side is the expression, and on the right hand side there is a constant number which is 5, and both are having an equality sign in between, so it is an equation. Now this equation is linear because highest power of x is 1 over here, and it is a linear equation in one variable because here there is only one variable, that is x. So 4x minus 7 is equal to 5 is the linear equation in one variable. Again I am repeating, the left hand side 4x minus 7 is one expression, algebraic expression you know. Right hand side we have a constant term, that is 5. Both are separated by equality sign, and here the only one variable is there, which is x, and the highest power of x is 1. So the equation is linear, and it is linear equation in one variable because there is only one variable x over here. So such equation is called linear equation in one variable, which is having only one variable and the highest power of the variable is 1. Solution of a linear equation. The value of a variable which satisfies the given equation is called solution or the root of the equation. So when we are solving the equation, we get a particular value of a variable for which the equation is true, or we can say both the sides are equal, and that value of the variable we call it as the solution or the root of the equation. In order to solve an equation for a given variable, you need to undo whatever has been done to the variable. In technical terms, you are isolating the variable. So whenever we are solving an equation, we have to find the value of variable. So for that, we need to isolate the variable. We need just variable on the left hand side, so that on the right hand side we will get some constant number. And in order to find the value of the variable, we need to undo whatever has been done to the variable. Suppose if some number is added to the variable, then we will subtract the same number. If some number is multiplied with variable, then we will divide the variable with the same number so that we can isolate the variable. So students, here we have two equations. One is 3a plus 15 is equal to 9. So in this first equation, you can see we have variable a only on the left hand side, because right hand side we have a constant number 9. So let's see how to solve this equation. As I said, whenever we are solving an equation, we have to undo whatever is done with the variables, and so we have to isolate the variable. In this equation, you can see 15 is added. So in order to undo this action, we have to subtract the 15, and 3 is multiplied with a, so we need to divide by 3. But here also we have to take care that which order we will do the actions. First we will divide or first we will subtract. Remember the rule of BD-MAS. You know that whenever we were solving any sums, we are following the rule of BD-MAS. Here exactly reverse is the case you have to follow. So first we will subtract 15 and then we will divide by 3. Or we can say that first we will shift this 15 on the right hand side, so it will be removed, and then we will divide the right hand side by 3 by shifting this 3 on the right hand side. Let's see how to do it. First we will write 3a is equal to 9 minus 15. As I said, first we will remove this 15, and in order to do that, we will shift it on the right hand side. Because it is added over here on the left hand side, when we are shifting it on the opposite side, we will subtract it. So now our equation will be 3a is equal to 9 minus 15 is 6, and here we will put negative sign because 15 is the bigger number. So now our equation is 3a is equal to minus 6. Next, now we just need a on the left hand side. So we will write a is equal to minus 6 upon 3. Because this 3 here is in the multiplication, when we will shift it on the right hand side, we will divide the right hand side by 3. Now you know 3 twos are 6. So the value of a we will get is minus 2. So for this equation, 3a plus 15 is equal to 9. A is equal to minus 2 is the solution. Now moving to the second one. Second equation is 5x minus 5 is equal to 7 plus x. So here you can see we have only variable x, but this x is present on the left hand side as well as on the right hand side. So when we have such equations where we have variables on the both sides, then what we will do is first we will shift all the terms with variable on left hand side and all the constant terms on the right hand side. This you can do in 2 different steps, or you can do in just one step. Let's see how to solve such equations where variables are given on both sides. So first we will write 5x minus x is equal to 7 plus 5. What I have done? This x I have shifted on left hand side and it has become negative because it was positive on the right hand side. Remember children, whenever we are shifting any variable term or the constant term from one side to other side to the opposite side, always you have to change the sign. So now it is 5x minus x. So we have variables on left hand side, and right hand side we already had number 7. And this minus 5 also we have shifted on right hand side. So now we have added it to 7, because on the left hand side it was subtracted. When we are shifting on the right hand side, we are adding it. So now our equation is 5x minus x is equal to 7 plus 5. Next, 5 minus 1 is 4. So we'll write 4x is equal to 7 plus 5 is 12. So now our equation is 4x is equal to 12. And we know that again we have to isolate the variable x. So we will write x is equal to 12 upon 4. Because this 4 is on the is in multiplication with x, when we will shift it on the right hand side, we will divide the right hand side by 4. So x is equal to 12 upon 4. So x is equal to 3, because 4 3s are 12. So these are the examples. The first example was solving the linear equation with one variable, where the variable is present only on one side. See, this can be on left hand side or it can be on right hand side also. If it is in right hand side, let me show you. If it is on right hand side, then the equation can be given like this, that 9 is equal to 3a plus 50. See, this equation is also same as that of this, but only the sides are changed. Then what you will do is just interchange the sides first and then you solve it this way. So this is the example where the variable is only on any one of the sides, either on the left hand side or on the right hand side. And over here, variable is present on the both the sides. Then what we will do is, we will shift the term with variable on left hand side and the one with constants on the right hand side. And then we will solve it as we have solved the first one. So these are the examples how to solve the equations. Few more are there. We'll discuss in the next example. So students, let's see how to solve some complex types of linear equations with one variable. Here you can see in this equation we have variable y on both sides, as well as we have 3 over here in the denominator on the right hand side. And in this equation we have variable z only on one side, but here both are having different denominators, 3 and 4. So let's see how to solve such types of equations. When you have denominator only on one side, what you will do is, you will shift this denominator on the opposite side. If it is on left side, you will shift it on right side, and here we have it on right side. So first we will shift on left side. So 3 over here is in division. So first we will write this 3 into multiplication in the bracket. So we'll write 3 in the bracket 2y minus 7 bracket complete is equal to y. So now see, whenever you have two terms, you have to put the bracket when you are multiplying. Otherwise what will happen, you will just multiply this 3 with 2y and not with 7. Then you will not get your answer. Now multiplying this 3 inside, 3 into 2 is equal to 6y minus 7 into 3 is 21 is equal to y. So now this is a simple type of equation with variable on two sides or both sides. So now we will shift this variable on the left hand side and this constant term minus 21 on the right side. And remember, whenever we are shifting it, we have to change the signs. So now shifting this on the left hand side, we will write it as 6y minus y is equal to 21. So now 6y minus y is equal to 5y is equal to 21. Now again, as we have done, we have to isolate this variable y. We just want y on the left hand side. So we have to shift this phi on the right hand side. And so that we'll get the value of y. So we'll write 21 upon 5 because this phi is in the multiplication on the left hand side. So this is the value of y, or we can say this is the solution for the given equation. Solving the second one, here we have both the denominators different and both the denominators are on left hand side. So first we'll take LCM. You know that the LCM of 3 and 4 is 12. So first we'll write Z multiply by 4. This we are multiplying first term Z upon 3 by 4, both the numerator and denominator. So 3 into 4. So it will be 4 Z upon 12, and this Z upon 4 we can write as Z multiply by 3, because 3 4s are 12. We need 12 in the denominator, so we are multiplying it by 3. So 4 into 3 is equal to 3Z upon 12. Okay, so now this Z upon 3 we will write. Now we are writing left hand side again. Z upon 3 we will write as 4Z upon 12 minus Z upon 4 we will write as 3Z upon 12. And right hand side we have 4 that we will write as such. Will not make any changes in the right hand side. Now 4Z minus 3Z is just Z. 4 minus 3 is 1. So Z upon will have 12 is equal to 4. So now value of Z we will get is equal to 4 into 12, sorry, 4 into 12 is equal to 12 fours are 48. So this is the solution of the given equation. Z upon 3 minus Z upon 4 is equal to 4. When Z is equal to 48, this equation is true. So students, let's see how to solve some complex types of equation. For that, we will reduce complex types of equation to simpler form. Here, the example you can see, we have x upon 3 minus 1 upon 5 is equal to x upon 4 plus 1 upon 2. Here, first step, we will take the LCM of the denominators 2, 3, 4 and 5. Here you can see on the left hand side we have different denominators 3 and 5, and here on the right hand side we have different denominators 4 and 2. So first we'll take the LCM of all 4 denominators together, that is 2, 3, 4 and 5, which is 60. Now what we have to do is we need 60 in the denominator for all these 4 terms. So for that we will multiply both the sides by 60. So first we will multiply this left hand side by 60. When we will multiply this x upon 3 by 60, we know that 23 are 60. So we are left with 20x. Here 12 5s are 60. So we are left with 12. Here 15 4s are 60. So we are left with 15x. And here 30 2s are 60. So here we'll have 30 in the numerator. Next, step 3. Now we will bring all the variables on the left hand side and all the constants on the right hand side as we have done earlier. So now you can see this both the terms, this 20x and 15x, they are the terms with variables, and here on the right hand side we have constant terms. Now 20 minus 15 is 5x and 30 plus 12 is 42. And now last step, step 4, dividing both the sides by 5. So when we will divide this left side by 5, this 5 will get cancelled with the denominator, and on the right hand side we'll have 42 upon 5. So this is the solution for the given equation. Now let's see how to solve the problem sums. The problem sums can be of numbers, it can be of ages of different people, it can be between mother and son, it can be father and son, it can be ages of friends, it can be the problem sums of fractions, the problem sums can also be of money, it can be for area or it can be for perimeter also. Let's see the steps to solve the problem sums. First step is read the problem carefully. Again, I'm saying you need to read the problem sums very carefully every time, unless and until you understand the problem. Because if you will not understand the sum properly, you will not be able to form the equation. Second, reread the problem and now assign a variable. So after rereading, you need to decide that which value is to be assigned a variable. Suppose if age of son and father is there, then which age you will take as the variable, whether father's age or whether son's age, that you have to decide. Mostly we will take the value which is smaller as the variable. Suppose again taking the same example, if you have age of son and father, then obviously son's age would be lesser. So you will guess age of son as x or y or any variable, and then you will proceed further. Third, write an equation that represents a given situation. Whatever the relationship is given between the two values, accordingly you will be forming an equation. Suppose in the sum it is given that father's age is 5 times son's age. So son's age you will take as x. So father's age will be 5 times. So it will be 5 into x. Fourth step, solve the equation to find the unknown value. Now, in order to solve the equation, first you need to identify the equation that it is of which type. Whether the equation is having variable on both sides, if it is a complex form, or it is the equation with variable only on one side. And accordingly, you will solve the equation. And last and fifth step is check your results and answer the problem. Answer the problem means you have to write the sentence for your answer. So these are the steps you need to follow whenever you are solving the problem sums. Let's see how to form the equation for problem sums when you are given certain phrases or verbal expression. Suppose it is said 3 times or 4 times or 5 times some number, that means you have to multiply. When the word times is given, you need to multiply. Now, when it is said added to, more, or plus a number, then you will add the number and variable. When the word subtracted from or less than or the difference, such terms are used or such phrases are used, then you will use the subtraction. When the number is divided by some number, when such phrase is used, you will divide the number by the variable. Suppose if it is said 4 divided by some number, that means you will write 4 divided by some number. If you have taken y, then 4 divided by y. If you have taken a, then 4 divided by a. Suppose if reverse is the case, if it is said that some number is divided by 4, then you will write y divided by 4. Here it is given 4 divided by some number. So we have written 4 divided by y. Then 8 less than. This I have already discussed. If it is subtracted from, if it is less than phrase is used, or if it is given the difference between two numbers, then you will subtract the number from the variable, or you will subtract the variable from the number. Accordingly, as it is given, accordingly you will do. Here it is given 8 less than an unknown number. So here unknown number will write first. So x minus 8, because 8 is less than an unknown number. Next is multiplied by. Again, when it was, we have discussed, then when it is given times, you will multiply. Same way, if it is given that some number is multiplied by 12, or if it is given that 2 is multiplied by 12, then you will write 2 into 12. If it is given x multiplied by 12, then you will write x into 12. If you are given that some number is multiplied by 12, then you can write any variable a, b, c, x, y, z into 12. And last is 7, more than twice the number. Here it is given twice the number. Twice, whenever the words, such words like twice, thrice, 4 times, 5 times, it is given, you will first multiply the number that many times. Here it is given twice. That means you will write 2 times the number. That means 2x or 2y or 2a or 2m or 2c. And then it is given more than. So that you will add that many in the given number. Here it is given that 7 more than twice the number. So twice the number means 2c and 7 more than that. That means plus 7. So this is how you can form the equations for the problem sums you are given, and then you will solve them. So students, here we are ending with this session. I hope now you are clear with how to solve the equations and how to solve the problem sums. So goodbye and take care of yourself.